Hi all, welcome to this series of intro questions in front end. Uh, Today we will be seeing yet another interesting question in JavaScript. You would have heard primitive types, right? In native languages like Java or C++, whether a primitive will have methods and properties, but whether the methods and properties are available in case of primitives in JavaScript. Do primitives have methods and properties in JavaScript? That's the question we are going to see. As you know, in native languages like Java and C++, primitives are just values. They don't have methods or properties. They are not objects to have methods and properties. But how in JavaScript it is possible? How come how come primitives have methods and properties? We will see. First of all, we will try to understand what are primitives in JavaScript. Primitives in JavaScript are simple types like string, number, big int, null, undefined, yeah, boolean, right? These are the primitives. Okay. Maybe if I want to show them, just to open the developer tools. So a primitive is nothing but A is a primitive because it has the string. If you put type of A, it will be string. Similarly, you can have number, boolean, null, undefined. Those all are primitives. Okay. But the question is, this is A is a primitive. But how the methods are available for a primitive? Because all the native languages like Java or C++, they don't have it. But how come a primitive has methods and properties in JavaScript? That's the question right here. So, what really happens behind the scene? Okay, all numbers, all the primitive has wrapper objects. A string has string, okay, string class, which is a wrapper for the string primitive. Similarly, we have a number wrapper, number class, which is a wrapper for number. And similarly for Boolean also we have a class. Okay. What really happens behind the scene is JavaScript. You would have heard that JavaScript is a very flexible, easy language. So the moment it sees that you're trying to access something out of a primitive, it tries to convert it to its corresponding wrapper class. Since it is A is a string, once you do this, keep a dot on it, you will see all the properties of string. Okay, you will see. But by doing that, will it get converted to a string object, string wrapper class? If you put type of A, it is still a string. What happens to that object which got created out of the primitive? Actually, what JavaScript does it is once it finds that you are trying to access some method, it converts it to its corresponding wrapper class, tries to execute it, and that object becomes garbage collected. Okay, you understand? If you want to access that object which got created of the primitive, you have to write something like this. Maybe hope this is visible to you. Okay, I will just clear on the prototype. I'm just adding to the string class. I'm adding another method to facilitate me to access that object. Okay, I've just add a function get object. Okay, let this be a function which will return this, which will be the object. Okay, just I've added. Now the string will have get object. Now let me do get object. We'll see whether it gets executed, and I will save it in a variable. Now let's print the string object which got returned from get object. So this is the string object which got created out of the primitive. So the moment JavaScript finds you are trying to access a function out of the primitive, it creates a string object. That is the wrapper string object. And that object, since using get object, we are returning that object. We are able to see that object here. Hope this is clear. Okay. So when you get a question like this in your interview, try to tell them that the primitives in JavaScript does not have methods or properties. It is just that JavaScript, owing to its flexibility, converts the moment it sees that you are trying to access something out of a primitive, it converts to its corresponding wrapper class and executes it, and once it executes it, it garbage collects it. It is not available. Okay, it is sent to the garbage, and you still have the primitive with you. Okay, hope this is clear. See you in next question. Kindly subscribe to get the interview question every day. Thank you. Have a nice day.